W.E.B. Du Bois is a name I associate with the Harlem Renaissance and the rise of the black intellectual at the turn of the 20th century. He was the first African American to get a Ph.D. from Harvard and was a founding member of the NAACP. But in light of civil rights leaders like Dr. King and Malcolm X, how relevant is he? I decided to dive into Du Bois' famous work, The Souls of Black Folk. In it, he wondered how blacks living as second-class citizens could ever really know themselves.
It's a peculiar sensation, this double consciousness, this sense of always looking at oneself through the eyes of others. One ever feels his two-ness, an American, a Negro, two souls, two thoughts, two unreconciled strivings, two warring ideals in one dark body whose dogged strength alone keeps it from being torn asunder.
That's Michelle Elam, Associate Professor of English at Stanford. I asked what Du Bois was trying to tell America in 1903 when he wrote The Souls of Black Folk.
African Americans, as he was representing them, were interested in integration, but not assimilation. That passage we read a little bit in Souls of Black Folk talks about that he doesn't want to bleach his Negro soul in a flood of white Americanism, but he also feels that white America has much to teach African Americans and Africa in general. And he's very interested in advancing the sense that the learning goes both ways. One of the things that's fascinating about The Souls of Black Folk is it's really got two audiences. It's certainly writing for his peers, but it also is explicitly geared towards whites, trying to reveal the world behind the veil, trying to give white people an appreciation of what it is like to experience blackness in the country.
Du Bois saw higher education as the way up, says Stanford philosophy professor Lanier Anderson.
Du Bois thought the social problems faced by whites and blacks in the American South are incredibly complex, and that without genuinely broad-minded people on both sides, the grave injustice of the social situation that those people found themselves in was destined to lead to disaster.
Anderson says Du Bois was philosophical about the color line.
When Du Bois says at the beginning of Souls of Black Folk that the problem of the 20th century is the problem of the color line, he means that not only as a sociologist, he also means to point out that the problem of the color line as it existed interior to the psychological and moral lives of African American people themselves, they faced in much starker terms a fundamental human problem that we all face about the way that we should reconcile our own individual self-conception with a conception of ourselves that's driven by the society around us.
The NAACP said of him in 1934 in an official resolution, he created what never existed before, a Negro intelligentsia.
Stanford professor of English, Arnold Rampersad.
To enter into the intellectual world of Black America and race is to enter into a world that is really dominated by Du Bois. There is something in Du Bois for almost every aspect of the American condition, where the American condition impinges on the question of race. And America is race. I mean, it's a racial conundrum. It was in 1900, it still is today.
For Philosophy Talk, I'm Polly Stryker.